This is another video response to some comments and a lot of questions, so I thought it'd be better to put in a video again. If my voice starts sounding terrible, it's because earlier today I had an upper endoscopy on my esophagus where they expanded it, or stretched it, whatever you call it. I've been officially diagnosed with eosinophilic esophagitis, and it sucks really bad, and I'm actually in pain right now, but hey, Jesus suffered for me, so I'll suffer for him. Wages of sin is death. Isn't that a little bloody? Well, yeah, it can get a little bloody, but some folks go in their sleep, so it's not always bloody. Whether it's bloody or not, though, isn't the point. The point is that because we sin, our bodies will die, and when we die, we are eternally separated from God, and so we are placed elsewhere, unless, of course, you have somebody to help you out with that problem. Why doesn't Jesus have a son of his own, and why doesn't Jesus have a grandfather? God's father-son relationship is not at all like humans. This is a classification error. For one, the father didn't have sex to have a son. And it's very orthodox to say that Jesus is eternally the son, so the father-son relationship is eternal. However, I personally do not take that position. I think that his sonship has much more to do with the incarnation and salvation plan. But I don't need to complicate my answer by getting into that. But either way, whether you take his sonship as eternal or not, it's still a classification error. Two, Jesus could have married and had kids if he wanted. It would not have been sinful for him to have done so. But there's strong evidence that he didn't, and there's no evidence that he did. So he doesn't have a son of his own simply because he chose not to. Then let's all kill and commit crimes, since we are already forgiven. Oh boy. One, salvation is for whosoever believes. If you don't believe, you don't have salvation, and you're not forgiven. Two, forgiveness is available for all, but not all are saved, because, of course, not everybody believes. Three, saved persons do continue to sin. However, anyone who claims to be saved and goes on a killing spree or a crime spree obviously isn't, for they don't have the Spirit to regenerate them and make them new. Love. Why did he create hell? One, hell was created for Satan and his angels. To begin with, that's in Matthew. God made free will agents. Free will agents reject God. God made a location for those who don't want to be with him. It's pretty simple. If God makes free will agents and some of them don't want to be with him, what is God supposed to do? Force them? No, he makes another location and sends them over there. Think about it. If there's a girl, or if you're a girl, if there's a guy or somebody that you have a crush on, and they continuously reject you, what are you going to do? You're going to eventually reject them. It's that simple. Number five, God's unconditional love for humanity is shown through Jesus, and salvation being for all. If you would stop rejecting God, you would be able to experience that love. Punish someone, he is justice and will punish the bad guys and reward the good guys. Congratulations, you're correct, but there's a problem. There are no good guys. Everyone falls short of the glory of God. Everyone is a sinner. But while we're on the subject of God's perfect justice and his perfect love, I'd like to point something out to you. God's perfect justice and his perfect love, which could be considered his mercy, are a logical contradiction. Uh-oh. Hope the atheists don't nail us on this one. Oh, but wait! Christianity has a solution. God's justice and his mercy are both fully satisfied on the cross. Poor Islam. Islam has no solution to this contradiction. Another reason to reject Islam. Everyone goes to heaven, good guys and bad guys alike, just to be unconditional love. No, that wouldn't show unconditional love. Not punishing everyone would do nothing to show unconditional love, because it would show a lack of moral good and justice. It would show God doesn't take humanity serious, it would show God doesn't take himself serious, and it would show God doesn't take sin serious. God taking himself, humanity, and sin serious are all morally good, thus God punishes. That's the moral goodness of punishing. So if God didn't punish anybody, then he wouldn't be morally good, and therefore he would not be able to be unconditional love. All three of those moral goods are found and achieved in a very dramatic, profound ways on the cross. And the purpose of it was to eliminate having to punish anyone. Is that brilliant or what? The final question, why is God so bloody and angry in the Old Testament with no unconditional love? Well, one, God's wrath shows moral good, not the lack of it. It's up to you to show God's love in the Old Testament is conditional, and everyone in the Old Testament are sinful people. There are no innocents harmed, I promise you. No innocence was harmed during the making of the Old Testament. So there you have it. I do want to say something which is not geared towards the individual that I'm responding to, and that is if you are a Calvinist Christian watching this, I am not an Arminianist, I am a Molinist. And as such, I do believe that all of the answers I have given are all completely biblical. God is unconditional love, human persons have free will, and there you have it. So have a good day.